the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we're talking about practice.
Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere other than one that is not me. It's beef, we shred a nigga block, that's chopped cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You reach, I teach you with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'ma go, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They bring out the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe. Connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Made for this. Nigga, I eat bars and drink flows, thinking you woke into your third eye peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy, it's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early, this bitch a cheat code. It ain't a game, these niggas lame, state bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same, you want the easy pass, tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire, you can't stand the rain, take an aim. Tell him runner, he can try his best. Drive a car named after me, that's why I'm in the vet. Laughing these niggas once again, and I ain't break a sweat. Number one at everything I do, that's why I'm one west. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this janitor with the mop stick. You gonna need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, 10 for 10, I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, it is not mixed. They can see that my mind's sick, I don't write, I find shit. I don't like it, then I switch. If I touch it, it's diamond. Tell a bitch that I'm God sent. It ain't because my kicks is built like 5'6", 5'7" is my bitch. Dangerous, high risk. I lose it, get another one. You think I'm talking about a girl? I'm talking about another gun. You hear now? Hey, look, it is what it is now. We don't fuck with the house niggas. We burn the crib now. I'm ahead now. And I hope they can hear now. I don't care if you think it's it, nigga. I don't fear clown. Silences make it sound like raindrop. That's a firestorm. Get the job done in the view and get fired on. If you niggas standing for nothing, what you dying for? If you put real with real, that's how I was born. Walking this bitch ready for war. I'm in riot form. I want these niggas to see me flex. That's why I am on. I shouldn't live in the crib, nigga. I should buy a farm to go through this shit so effortless. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. I'ma show them it's a difference. I'ma only say this once, you better listen. When West is where it started, so you know that's where it finished. We got one main objective, nigga, let's complete the mission. We explaining what the who, lead them bitches in they feelings. Snub on me, only time I put my nose inside your business. I don't want my gun to show, so I wear my shirt bigger. This is our world, cause if this was your world, I'd be the villain. Break his whole block down, all I gotta do is finish. Stuff in Mac shell drums, turn your crib to Sunday dinner. You don't live here, you visit, this my shit, it's a difference. I don't do lean, Lobos in my cup is what I'm sipping. I don't do dreams, I just say a prayer, go and get it. And it all work out, you know this ain't for play, this ain't for fun. I've been destined for this shit, niggas know that I'm the one. This shit can go 100 yards, you would think I kicked a punt. You would think I had a flare gun on go, you niggas run. They like he an Israelite, all he rap about is guns. Bitch, I'm an Israelite that own a lot of guns. What that nigga said who? Tell him watch the grind. Yeah, you must be crazy if you ever think of stopping mine. Knock all of the chains out you niggas, make them drop a dime. This tour is whole 12, it is not a zodiac sign. Piss me off, get me in my bag, make me drop a bomb, drop a nuke, make the world freeze, I can stop the time. Watch what you do, cause once you do it, you can't press rewind. On purpose, I do the opposite, so nigga cross the line. This is different, I ain't looking for trouble, but on point, case you think I rap. Turn him to a vegetable, lead this nigga cabbage patch. No new niggas with me, if you see him, then they got my back. Got it out the mud, big stepping, you can see the tracks, follow me. I can teach you something, have her see relax. If you gonna speak on anything, just make sure it's fact. It's a difference, we are not the same, help them notice that. Pay attention, watch how we move, we can know we can't. Hang around all real niggas and we move as one. This ain't Fortnite, get into it, ain't no 1v1. The smoke I bring to you, you can't take it in with your lung. Life about warfare, we just make it look fun. She asked what kind of oil I got on, I told her give them some. When West the only real niggas left, you better get you one. Chicken shop, giving out wings if I pull a drum. It's a difference, you better watch your words before you eat your tongue. Scrape the whole plate, not a trace nor leave a crumb. Ice falling off the watching chain like it's freezer burn. Daring somebody to say my name, I would eat to him. Loyalty means everything, so I don't eat with them.
So special.
This shit is endless. What I speak is the truth. I don't care if it's offensive. 12 rounds hit hard, and this shit gon' go the distance. Way to exit cool, but wait till you see the interest. Know that we them niggas when we walk inside the entrance. Put me as the GOAT, you should be honored to get a mention. All my clips is standard, but I still get extensions. Switch on the big 30, sound like when it's spitting. Album so high, I had to give them an extension. One West till they bury me. Yeah, that's the commitment. Don't trust the soul, niggas purring or they hissing. Been winning so much, they didn't think I put the fix in. Get the game to go my way, they gon' thinking that I rigged it. If I say it in my raps, I would do it or I lived it. What you say in your raps is entertainment, you just kidding. Hard times, I got tired of being broke, so I fixed it. This pole get the job done. Nigga, this is stick shit. What I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. The life that I chose, no turning back, we end this. They don't understand till we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them, 40 days, 40 nights, shit is endless. What I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. This the life that we chose, no turning back, we end this. They don't understand when we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them, 40 days, 40 nights, this shit is endless. I believe in reincarnation, so you know this endless. I'm solidified and stamped, that's why I walk with a signet. Build it from the ground up, did it all independent. Don't put your head in my business, to the wall I'm appended. They say I walk around like I'm perfect, bitch, I'm sinless, blameless. And if you ain't the same, I'm against it. Was born with the shit, the other half, I'm just gifted. 20 on me, wish a nigga would so I could spend it. Start from the branch, then I ain't at the soil. You got a pair on me, that'll leave your family trees for you. Can't catch you, then I get your man, make him lord you. The only comp is me, and I'm trying to be cordial. I feel like I'm royal, you interchange with the mind. I love a 10 with a sexy walk, but I take a switch with a 9. Gear up and go crazy when they tell me it's time. Empty the whole clip to the last shot like the game. What I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. The life that I chose, no turning back, we end this. They don't understand till we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them, 40 days, 40 nights, shit is endless. What I speak is the truth, I don't care if it's offensive. This the life that we chose, no turning back, we end this. They don't understand when we tell them no forgiveness. Rain on them, 40 days, 40 nights, this shit is endless. When Westworld. Let's get it. Don't be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon' make more. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit, bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in, I just break doors. Ballin' so hard, they asking what team that I play for. Scammer who? They ain't stopped making guns when they made yours. Sick with it, feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the beast loose, what they opened up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times is what I'm made for. Paid my dues, never left a wage, I just rage war. So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Still against all enemies. In high school, you was the man that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy. Never lose control, never losing, dog, I plan to keep. You lose your mind where I'm from, I ain't talking from what you see. I never lost soul, losing time, wasting steady pacing. You off track, I'm on that. You pray to God, hoping he can save you. But the power about war, and that's a different angle. This another lost cause, and I'm just adding to the list. They not seeing me for that reason. Got a flash on the grip. Nigga, big priest. They gon' judge me by my increase. And I'ma keep stepping in these joys to the increase. Just got off the phone with Jacob, and he said it's time to shine. Certified, blue dot, put it on you, now you verified. One West world, bigger than World War III. Do not sleep, it's not cheap, and it's still top 3.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past. Don't be a story in my page.
Came on boats and then chains. So when I get rich, I'ma grab a boat and 10 chains with 12 ribs from each tribe. And each rib gonna have at least 3 kids. Yeah, I'ma have the deep squad. Been rapping since knee high. Now a nigga shack size. Spit that holy fire. When you hear it, you get baptized. One West World. Yeah, you niggas know the logo. And I'ma bust it down so the haters see the glow. Let's have a feast. Let's shine on our enemies. Right in their face. Let's blind all our enemies. Cause now we have, but we come from half not. Throw that cash on the ground, my nigga, let's cast lots. I started from the bottom, birthed out of mud, raised by gangsters, turned out a thug. I ain't give a fuck. Burnt out I was from hitting licks in and out and selling nicks in the drop.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past. Don't be a story in my page. Yeah, I hear these niggas when they talking, let them gossip. Protocol, never catch me slipping, tell them watch him. Tunnel vision, move on my way or try to stop this. All black, 0 dark, 30 when we lock in. Yeah, I hear them niggas when they talking, let them gossip. Protocol, never catch me slipping, tell them watch him. Tunnel vision, move on my way or try to stop this. All black, 0 dark, 30 when we lock in. I don't know what these niggas heard, boy, this my shit. Funeral home look like a gathering for the gothic.
Hey, Shalom. Can we get this a shit on the screen? We can show it the water. We the Isupk started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commander General Yohana, I'm President Officer Don Diala. This is the Wednesday night law class. If you have any questions pertaining to the law, type them in. If not, we can go on with the topic. Any questions pertaining to the law or any questions in general, you can ask. That's how we're gonna move. So let's give it. We can go ahead.
If I could, sir, I want to ask you about these Jewish individuals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just like they very existence, how they like. There's more information on where they come from, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Position of power.
Gotcha. Would you gonna read something or you just?
I was like asking, you know, just get more edification. It's like,
okay.
So like the Jewish guy, I know we were saying it off camera. I just, you know, I got information. It's just you know, just I can be more well put around it.
Right. All right. So like, give me like a specific question about it. Like, where would you want to start?
It's like Esau. Like I know they Edomites.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Esau, and like, you know, Esau. You know what I mean? Like the correspondence with them, and,
Amalek.
you know, being, you know, Edomites, and you know, I know that the synagogue of Satan.
Okay. All right, so hold on, bear with me.
Everybody online, if you have any questions, you can just go ahead and type it in. Type in your questions.
All right, so of course we're gonna start with Esau. Okay. Esau, where they came from, right? Of course, everybody know the so-called Jewish, or the so-called, the Jewish man, so-called Jewish man would be known as Amalek in the Bible, right? Let me get Genesis 36 and 12. Amalek in the Bible would be so-called Jew.
I got it, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, read.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 36 and verse 12. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. And she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Ada, Esau's wife. So,
of course, Esau's mother was Timnah, who was a concubine to Eliphaz. That's who Amalek. Eliphaz was Esau's son. So Amalek is the grandson of Esau. That's where they come from. Jump up to verse 9.
Verse 9.
Well, verse 8. Start at verse 8.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 36 and verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom.
Esau is Edom. So when you see Esau or Edom, it's the same person.
Right.
They come from Mount Seir. Read.
And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir.
Yeah. So this is the generations of Esau and Mount Seir. Go ahead.
So like now we're being broke down about Mount Seir. They were saying that it was like basically like caves and rocks.
That's exactly what it is. That's it is caves and rocks, and that's where they came from. And who also came from there? Caves and rocks in the Bible. Who else lived in caves and rocks before Esau in the Bible?
It wasn't Cain, was it?
Mm-hmm.
It was?
Exactly. When the Lord cursed them from the earth, sent them up into the mountains. I mean, he lived there too. So let's read on.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So as I looked on Google, it says that it looks like it's like the Edomites might have built something here, like a little entrance. I can put it up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to check the validity of it. It's right here. Now they saying that this is on Mount Seir.
Yeah, that's how I look.
Hold on, so they built this.
Yeah, that's when they say they lived in caves. That's what it looks like. That's why buildings, as of today, look like that. Downtown skyscraper. Remember, at one point in time, we didn't build our houses and stuff that high. Reason being, we had to keep it eye level enough to see when the danger comes, because we had to alert the people. So if you up 20 feet if you up 100 feet in the air on or not even 100 feet, let's say if you up 100 stories in the air, how in the hell you gonna be able to see danger come? You're gonna be too far up. Everybody gonna look like little ants. So we had to keep our houses leveled enough to where as though, we go to war. If I'm up 100 stories in the air, I can't shoot nothing down to hit the enemies that's coming you too far away. So that's why over time, they living in mountains and they building it. So what happens? They they start to take over America and other countries, and they start building skyscrapers because it's natural, it's what they live in.
Right.
Like just like how black people as of today, we lived in projects in Egypt and everything. All like these houses is, we always lived in these places in the ghettos and everything. That's why we can adapt to it.
Right.
We can adapt and we can grow and we survive. We survive in these ghettos because they've been putting us in ghettos for thousands of years. And this is just how we, survive. Go ahead.
I feel like that's definitely what you're saying because, like we always said, like it was always like a joke among like the black community. It was like, yeah, they cavemen. You know what I'm saying? Like they come from the Caucasus Mountains. Is that the same thing? The Caucasus Mountain? That's what it was called. Was that like something that they was called that? Like the mountains that they dwelt on, like Mount Sur, it was Caucasus because they.
Let's look it up. The Caucasus Mountains. The Caucasus Mountains.
Hey, sir. Look up Caucasus Mountain. Put up Cocoa Mountain. Caucasus Mountain.
So you got a lot of kids. Caucasus Mountains. Ain't nothing coming up?
The Caucasus Mountains are a mountain range at the intersection of Asia and Europe, stretching between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. They are surrounded by the Caucasus region. They are the home of Mount Elbrus, the highest peak in Europe. All right, so this is...
Yeah, so to sum it up, the Caucasus Mountain is the mountains where they once lived in.
Oh, good.
So that's why when you find in history and you find anytime you find a history where they lived, it always was a mountain. Like for an example, you know how the Dark Ages came about? The Renaissance period? How?
Well, basically the Dark Ages, we was in rulership.
Mm-hmm.
Dark people, they was being racist back then too. The Dark Ages, we was in rulership, and then you had the Renaissance era. That was the whitewashing time.
Yeah. So how did it switch from the Renaissance to the Dark Ages? I mean, the Dark Ages to the Renaissance.
War.
Yeah, and so at the time, in the process of the switch, if the black people were ruling, where was the so-called white people?
They was underneath us.
Yeah, and also too, right? We were ruling, but there was still like a lot, like parts of the earth where black people was in slavery too. Like even when we was ruling. So like, even King James and all that, it wasn't like blacks ruled the earth, like blacks ruled Europe. But a lot of black people were still in slavery at that time. What happened was the Edomites, who was in caves, it was a Japhetic, he was like a war general or something like that. He was looking to recruit fighters for his army. So his name was like King Hawaki or something like that. His name was like King Hawaki. So he went to the mountains and he gathered up all the Edomites that he could find.
I heard about that, and then they wound up killing him, right?
Yeah, he taught them how to fight, everything. And when they became like a little strong army, they just end up killing him and taking over. And then that's when they went through all our earth and just, start taking over. So yeah, that's how that go about. But you can read on.
Get it? Verse 9, and these are the generation of Esau, the father of Edomites in Mount Seir. Verse 10, these are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau; Reuel, the son of Besemath, the wife of Esau. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatham, and Zenaz. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me see. All right, so that's we know who. Oh, I know exactly what I need to do. We know who Amalek came from. Okay, so. Okay. So that's where he came from. And what was your other question? Your other question was
All right, so you gave Amalek. So Amalek are the Amalekites, right?
yeah, Amalek,
I can say that word.
Amalekites. Yeah, ain't that in the scriptures? Hold on, Amalekites?
Because you say Amalek, and I know that.
Yeah, because it's a biblical term. That's in the Bible.
Where would I find the Amalekites? I don't know.
Like Amalekites, you trying Amalekites, like Israel and Israelites. You saying Amalek and Amalekites? That's what you saying? Where you can find them in the scriptures? Let's go to Numbers.
Amalekites, yeah, the Amalekites.
Yeah, Numbers 13:29.
So, okay, Numbers 13, 29.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong. It's the book of Numbers, chapter 13, verse 29. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south.
See, so that's the actual word in the Bible. We shouldn't get clipped for that.
That's why they named.
Yeah.
Oh, that's deep.
It's spiritual, man. All of it makes sense, man. It's spiritual.
All right, so.
And they take offense to that word, though, because the reason being they don't want to be linked with that, yeah, because they understand who them people was in the Bible and how it makes them look or whatnot.
Okay, where would I find them at before it was like, like the Amalekites? Like, okay, so first, how can I say it? Amalekites, how did they convert?
Unto Jews?
Unto Jewish people.
Into the so-called Jew?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to.
I'm trying to get ready for battle. So.
Right. How did they convert?
Yeah, because I know that a lot like Jewish people kind of like it was like I feel like it was like migration. Mm-hmm. Like the Jewish people like kind of like when they all coming from so was Judaism something that was practiced by like particular people?
Mm-hmm. Just like all religion back then was different people until they started spreading it worldwide.
Question: how did Judaism start?
Okay.
Yeah.
How did Judaism start? All right. So hold on. Let me see if I still got it in my notes.
Yeah, because like I want to one thing I want to start going on Jewish stages, and I want to be able to be precise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Come here. Do me a favor. Can you go pull me some of that ginger ale?
Yeah, I just want to get more information on. I can tell them all day, you don't line up with scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
Jews is black, but I also want to go a little bit more into their history because I have books on it, but I like to have numerous sources. You know, I don't always go off the sources that book tell me on the internet. You know what I mean?
So let's look it up. Origins of Judaism. We can look it up. It'll give us a brief summary. Any questions online? Any questions online yet?
So just
Mm-hmm.
all right, so I got Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
Wikipedia asking for donations, man. It's a lot. All right. Origins of Judaism. The origins of Judaism lie in the Bronze Age, in polytheistic, ancient Semitic regions, specifically involving out the polytheistic, ancient Canaanite religion, then coexisting with Babylon religion, and synchronizing elements of Babylonian belief into the worship of Yahweh as reflected in the early prophetic books of the Hebrew Bible. During the Iron Age, the Israelite region became distinct from the Canaanite. Okay. It felt like from what I'm reading, sir,
Mm-hmm.
it felt like, I don't know if they actually given a
The real origin?
kind. I think they trying to go back to it like.
Yeah, they're trying to trace it to Abraham,
back
the land of Canaan, all that. That's where they're trying to. Yeah. So hold on. Mm-hmm.
They're not trying to get that understanding, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to hide.
Hold on. Because they're trying to say Abraham was the first to start Judaism. Do you want to know why?
Yeah, so they will hide the truth. So,
And it's the same.
Judaism say Abraham.
But it's the same reason why they say Abraham started Islam. Where they take the practices of the Bible, and because Abraham stated some of these practices, they like to say that he's the one that started it. When of course we know Abraham didn't start Judaism. We know goddamn devil started Judaism. So let's see if
They is evil. They said, I typed in, how old is Judaism? 3,500 years.
so they're trying to say it's 1,000 years before Christ. Like that'd be like 1 BC or something like that. Where they saying where it started, because they're trying to say it started back with Abraham, but of course we know Judaism is a religion that was overtaken by Amalek. How?
not trying to get that information up.
Yeah, they not gonna do that.
And I told you, sir, I said, hey, Salaria, there was a book. I mean, Salaria, so I used to be able to go online and find the audio clip. They took that out. It was the Protocols of the Elder of Zion. And that book, now that I'm older, now I have a little bit more understanding that I'm a Jew.
Right. You think it's like, all right, for an example, type in what year was Christianity founded.
No, the Romans started it. It was mid first century CE.
Christianity?
So that's like
Christianity was founded in Christianity. Hold on, bear with me. What year Christianity was founded? Yeah. Yeah, Christianity was founded 300 BC, AD. It'll be AD, 300 AD.
Around that time, because that's when the Romans they started to formulate Christianity, and it became the new gods of Rome. And that's what actually started a lot of it. It started wars and breaking the government because the Romans was worshiping the old gods.
Right.
So a lot of them they followed after the Greek gods. All the weird gods.
So it's a 300, right? So we know Islam is what?
Islam is like, I think it gotta be at least like,
Because it came last.
yeah, Islam started like, let me see, it couldn't have been 1,000 years.
Yeah, so Islam is not 1,000 years old, right?
Yeah, probably like 1,500 years old.
Yeah. So, but why we can find all that, but when we look up Judaism, they keep dating it back to Abraham. Like they're not trying to say a man actually made this. That shows you the power that they actually have, which we've been saying all along. They control everything. We know Judaism didn't start in the 1st century. Come on.
Yeah, so you can find Islam. Islam was 610 AD.
Now, question. Judah comes from Judah, right? Judaism means what? Let's look that up. That's perfect. Look up, what do Judaism mean?
This is crazy.
Is it popping up? Let me see if I can get it.
I have it right here. Judaism, monotheistic religion of the Jewish people collectively.
No, hold on.
Judaism is an Abrahamic, monotheistic, and ethnic religion compromising the collective religions, culture, and legal tradition and civilization of the Jewish people. It has roots as an organized religion in the Middle East during the Bronze Age.
Look up Judaism definition.
All right, definition: monotheistic religion of Jewish people.
Now, Jew come from the tribe of Judah, right?
Because it got Judah in it.
Because it got Judah in it.
Right.
So if Judaism come from Abraham, how when Judah wasn't even around then?
Good, right.
Judah wasn't born in. You got Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Judah, like what, the 4th son? There's so many people in between that. How in the hell Judaism come from Abraham when Judaism come from Judah, the Israelites? They wasn't around when Abraham existed. So how did he create something? Why y'all call the Abrahamish? It don't make sense. So Abraham couldn't have found it. You know, because if he found it, why is it Judaism or Jewish? You see what I'm saying? So it's like even Christians say Christ created Christianity. That's where that comes from. It like so even to say is based off of the practices that Abraham did and started it. Why in the hell is it called Judaism then? You know why they call it Judaism? Because they know that the Most High made Judah the head tribe, right? Just think about this. Why? Okay, do the Jewish man believe in the 12 tribes? Do the Jewish man believe in the 12 tribes?
Sir, this is making me mad because it's crazy that I just asked you a normal question. And like as I'm trying, like these individuals, man, they have perfectly set up the internet so when you try to go through the cracks, they cover all the bases. Like, hold on, are you asking who spread the word of Judaism? Abraham. Moses. That's crazy. I'm looking through this right now, like everything on the front page.
How did Moses spread Judaism when it's the law of, he got the law of Moses. He created the law.
So this is how you know it's cat, right? It said, how did Judaism start spreading? Right? Number one, we don't spread nothing in the way that they spread it. Right? So peep game. It said the first dispersal began with the Israelite diaspora during the Assyrian captivity and continued on a much larger scale with the Babylonian captivity. Jews were also widespread throughout the Roman Empire, and this carried on to a lesser extent in the period of the Byzantine rule in the Central and Eastern Mediterranean. So basically, they're trying to say, we know as Israelites, we know that we don't go to other nations and teach them. We're going out to go teach our people. So basically, they trying to act like they trying to go over the question. How was Judaism spread? Oh no, it was spread through the men of the Lord doing the work. Not no, hey, Amalek, Edomites, we're the real Jews now, you know what I'm saying? Like that is crazy.
Right. Now, question. Okay. The Jewish people believe that they are Jews, right? Where are the Benjamites or the Levites? Because remember, it's 12 tribes. Why do they claim Judah? So who are the other people where they need to do a 12 tribe breakdown? If they just believe all the other tribes were done away with and it's just the Jews, remember the Bible say that the Jews, the name pertaineth to it, they start calling Judah, Benjamin, and part of Levi Jews, right? They need to really do a 12 tribe breakdown or a breakdown on who are the 12 tribes of Israel And who would they be considered as of today? Because think about it. They are saying that they are Jews, right? And the modern day Jew as of modern day Jewish person as of today identify himself as a Jew based off of history. He think he can trace his lineage and history back to the Bible to prove that he's come from the tribe of Judah. Okay, well, they need to do a history breakdown on that. They need to do a lecture to give us some insight, because y'all only talk about one tribe and there's 11 other tribes. Y'all only talk about one goddamn tribe and that's it. And that's the tribe of Judah. Why? Because they the head tribe. Now, let me see. Go to 2 Maccabees 6:6. We're gonna start at like 4.
This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 4. For the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles, who dwelled with harlots and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places.
Meaning the Gentiles came and they did some nasty things in the holy places. They dealt with whores and harlots and everything inside the temple. Read.
If I could say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, this is like, anytime like I'm teaching, right, I love to bring up this part in this area right here, because, you know, the white man took this out, and it explains how white people,
or so-called oppressors.
Yeah, you know.
They're going to take my video down ASAP.
Yeah, kind of. Oppressors, you know, they had us in captivity. That's true. You can't deny it, right? It's in the Bible. That the Greeks, Alexander the Great had us in captivity, right? So with them having us in captivity, now we're learning how these people operated. And right here, we read, and what this so heavy is explaining how they, how you say it, defamed our holy place. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these nation of people, no way, shape, form, or fashion can ever be the Lord chosen people. You know, you bring in whores and you doing all types of orgies in our temple. You know what I mean? That's like, that ain't nothing that our people will ever do, no matter what the situation is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's crazy. I can continue though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Khan. It had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places. And besides that, brought in things that were not lawful. Oh, that's the word, profane. The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth.
Meaning, a lot of stuff that the law forbids you to even eat or do, that's what they had inside the temples. Read.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts.
Man, it was not. Man, we living in them times right now.
Right.
You go to your job and tell them you went off on the Sabbath. More than likely, they're not going to give it to you. Mm-hmm. You tell them you went off to keep an ancient feast. More than likely, they ain't going to give it to you.
That's right.
But you can walk in there and got to keep off for Christmas or Ramadan or these type of holidays, and they're going to give it to you. Why they don't give it to us? Because they understand it's unlawful for us to keep the Sabbath or ancient feasts.
Right.
Why they can't have us learning who we are. Why you think they allow people to get on TV and say stuff like just think about it, right? And I was thinking about this earlier. Dr. Umar been on every major platform there have been, right? From the Breakfast Club to like Breakfast Club, like all the top platforms he done made it to, right? Mm-hmm. They have yet to try to cancel him or take down any interviews or say anything bad about him when he go on there and he clearly talks about how they treat black people. He clearly talks about how this society do us dirty. He clearly talks about he's against interracial dating. He clearly talks about how we need to stick together. You want to know why they ain't canceling him? Because with all that being said, he's telling us we African. So regardless, he can preach all that stuff he want. But you want to know what? They know when black people go to look into that, they might find something different. And it's just going to constantly cause division. So they need a person like him on the radio saying stuff that's not true. Why? Because people ain't going to go look into that and give a damn about it. Nobody won't. But when someone is telling you you're a Jew, you know what comes with that? Changing your life. They could come on all these goddamn both sides right. They can come on all these platforms all they want and tell you who you are. But they can't tell you who you are if finding out who you are going to help you change your life. Finding out that you're African does what for you in your life? What does it do with your how to live better, your eating habits, what to put in your body, what to do, when to stay away, when to come around? Finding out that you're a Buddhist or a Rastafarian, finding out that you're a Christian, finding out that you're a Muslim. What does that do for us as a people? Nothing. Finding out you're a Jew, that's you finding your identity, which means what? You might start loving each other. You might stop selling drugs. You might stop doing drugs. We might finally have a nation full of women that's not whores, and that's actually dressing up, covering themselves. That's dangerous. We might have a nation that actually builds something and care for each other. Don't try to pull each other down. Don't try to hate on one another to get into that top spot. You know, they pull each other up. They Diamond Districts got them and their whole family and friends in there. They goddamn them Arab spots got them and their whole family and friends in there. But then when it's us, it only got to be one person that's running stuff and one person only. And that's all they care about. I got to be the one to do it. Meaning while they're successful with multi-businesses because they're getting money together. Guess what happened if you find out you're a Jew? You might want to put your brother in a position to win. We can't have 20 Kanyes, meaning 20 billionaires telling black people that they're Jews. You know what they understand about black people? Black people will listen to a nigga with money. That proof is your Christian church. They understand black people will listen to a nigga with money. So they put your Christian pastors up in these churches and let them tell you anything. They put all these millionaires and let them tell you anything. But you know what they can't have? Someone with money telling you who you really are. Because the power of saying who they really are might make people go look into it. And out of 1,000 people that might research it, 100 people or 200 people might actually feel like that is right. And guess what them 200 people going to do? Raise up 200 more, 200 more. Or I got one better. Out of them 1,000 people, seven men might find out that it's right. And then they might raise up other men who raise up other men and other men and other men. And then, 2022, you have the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge that's been here since 1969 because of what someone told 7 men. And then now look, they can't have a nigga with money telling people who they actually are. Kanye could have got on there and said, we are actually come from Egypt and we're kings and queens. And I think they're ripping us from our heritage. Yo, Kyrie been running around saying the earth was flat for at least like a year. Kyrie is a 5%er. Right? Kyrie Irving is a 5%er. Kyrie Irving been in people comments. He's been on a few interviews saying Assalamu alaikum and all that stuff. Kyrie Irving believe in Islam. They have yet to cancel him when he got on there and said Assalamu alaikum. When he put that post up, right? His original picture was every religion he had. And he said he believed in love. So when he finally put that post up, there was no issue about it. You know when the issue came? When he said, hey, somebody told me about Yahweh, and then I went and researched it and found out that the blacks are the Hebrews. Now there's an uproar. Read on.
Come on. All right. Verse 6, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. Good night.
He can't even profess himself to be a Jew. We living through that right now. To say you a Jew is against the law, and they know it. So, what you was about to say? I'm about to get another scripture.
Yeah, no, confession is good for the soul. You know, every time somebody say that, they about to say something crazy. I had like being in the school, it builds a fire in me. You know what I'm saying? I done seen brothers that became troopers, and we had to give them a phone call at 8 o'clock. You don't have to, you know what I mean? Can't be malicious with people, but I understand. And like recently, someone put a battery in my back just to go harder. So I'm in my job. I'm actually about to leave out. So I hit this elevator, and this elevator is the freight elevator. So this is where people just moving in and out with this elevator. So I go downstairs to the entrance. I look at this little island piece outside the elevator, and it's a couple paintings. So you know me, I'm like, all right, I'm like, well, shoot, let me see what they got. Other one trash. Then I'm looking at this one picture. It's a church, and it's on fire, right? The church is on fire. So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So then I see a tombstone in front of the church. It say "Better Off Dead," and why from the tree was hanging a noose. Straight up and down, and like that made my blood boil. You know what I'm saying? Because these people done had a foot on our neck, put ropes around our necks for too long. That's why in IGBK, men is pushed to be strong and masculine and become leaders, because these people we look at someone like what's his name? Kyrie Irving, right, sir?
Mm-hmm.
I just showed you. I told you, I was like, sir, you saw Kyrie Irving profile pic? You know what I'm saying? Kyrie Irving, yeah, he apologized, but he didn't really mean it, because he don't know how to stand on this type of situation, because they took this knowledge away from us. So now, what he doing? He trying to be subliminal with it. Yeah, y'all want me to apologize, but yeah, King David was a black man. You know what I'm saying? Because he's still trying to stand on it, and it's so sad, because you would think that we would be able to have money. What they say, you got money, you got power. But really, in real reality, you don't have no power. Only time you have power is through your house. You know what I'm saying? Why your house shut? You know what I'm saying? Shut up and down.
Right. Most High Christ. Definitely. Hold on. Let me get something. Get me 2 Maccabees 4 and 13. Matter of fact, start at 10.
4 verse 10. All right. This is the book of Maccabees, chapter 2. So like it. This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4, and verse 10. Which when the king had granted, and he had gotten into his hand the rule, he forthwith brought his own nation to Greekish fashion.
Yep. So hold on. I'm about to send you. Okay. Do me a favor, right? Oh shit! How many people we got online?
We got a good amount. We rolling. You famous right now.
Most High Christ. That's the Lord. Now, go to images and pull it up.
I see it.
You see the picture? Pull it up on the screen. Can they see the screen? Oh, well, they could see the image that you put up, right?
Yeah, I see it.
It's the first one, first head. Put it up on the screen. Now we about to read something. I'm about to show y'all something.
That's deep.
Yeah, and they can see that on the screen, right?
I can.
Yeah, make that large. Make that large.
I can share it.
Yeah, right there. That's the one I want. Goddamn Super Bowl. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now read what you got.
Okay. The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4, and verse 9.
Let's go to.
Oh no, there wasn't that.
Let's go to 10.
Verse 10, Slot. That's what it was. Slot. It's the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 10. Which when the king had granted, and he had gotten into his hand the rule, he forthwith brought his own nation Greekish fashion.
Right. So when the king got in, when the king had it granted, and because he was in ruler, he brought his own nation Greekish fashion. Read.
God. And the royal privileges granted of special favor of the Jews.
And royal privileges were granted special favorites of the Jews. Read.
By the means of John, the father of the Eupolemus,
Mm-hmm.
who went ambassador to Rome for enmity and aid, he took away.
Right, read on.
And putting down the government which were according to the law, he brought up new customs against the law.
What he did was he brought up new customs against the law, right? He was in charge, so what he did was he started to add new stuff to the law. And let's see what this is. Read.
Verse 12. For he built gladly a piece of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subject.
Now he built gladly exercise, meaning he built stuff that he started doing stuff that he's going to teach them to start doing. Read.
Come.
And he took the young men and brought them under his subjection. Read.
And made them wear a hat.
And made them wear a hat, right? Now, real quick, make this image small so they can see all of them, real quick, before we get to the point.
If I could, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I've been looking into like the Greek history. Man, them Greeks, man, they was known for orgies.
Right.
Straight up and down, like they was some sick individuals.
Yeah, that's where it come from.
And like, if this is the point that we gotta, that the UPK that we have with these secret societies that our brothers and sisters join, these Greek fraternities, you know, even the Boule. We adopt everything from these other nations, and it shows in the Bible that the Greeks had us in captivity, and they didn't even want us to be Jews. Mm-hmm. And now every damn black person know by now the Jews was black. So it's like, when are we gonna wake up? This
right.
is true. Share it down, like, this is crazy. I didn't even know this.
Right. No, that's a fact. So let's look at, these are all the hats. So based off of your position, these are the hats that they let you wear in Greece, right? So make this big and put that right there on that first hat.
On the first hat?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right there. Now read that.
The skull cap of felt or wool of the common man.
So the common person in Greece wore this. Scroll down and let them see the hat. That's a yarmulke. That's where it comes from. It started out big, and over time, they started to make it smaller. Why the yarmulke is only meant to cover your crown? Because they made the Jews wear them at first. They made the Jews wear hats. Why? Because they understood, and when they understood our customs, we couldn't have our head covered. So they put that on our head because they understood in the Bible, our customs and the law, you couldn't pray with your head covered. A man had to have his head uncovered. So because a man had to have his head uncovered, we're under captivity. So what they do, they took the young men of the Greeks, the young men of the Jews, and gave them Greek fashion. And meaning what? Made them wear hats. Why? Because if you read all these are all the positions of high people in their society who wore hats, because it lets you know the position they was in. If you was a soldier, you wear this. If you was the cop, wear this. If you was the president, wear this. If you was this, wear this. If you was this. So now it means what? They give hats to people to let them know what is their place in this society. Guess what they gave to the Jews? Hats. They gave them goddamn yarmulkes. Why is the yarmulke just fit to cover this part? It's fit to cover your crown, because when you pray, you're not supposed to have this part covered. They know this. It's in our law. So
that's deep. I ain't gonna lie. This got my head blowing a little bit. It's like a slide. If I could, I ain't never think I'd be finding this out right now. Like, that's crazy, because like when you really think about it, now it's like, okay, y'all took on the culture. So they always like to talk about the Assyrian and the Babylonian captivity. And so it looks like they hijacked some knowledge from us, right? And they see the yarmulkes, and I guess what? Because most of them probably was from the Greeks. That's what it is.
Well, they see the yarmulke. You said they see the yarmulkes and do what?
Yeah. So like, all right, like verification. So like, these Greeks, are they known as being today converts?
The Greeks?
Yeah.
Like are they known as being converts to Judaism? What? Okay, so let's say if it's a so-called Jew, but they're Greek, are they considered converts? Is what you're saying?
They gonna say that they mom was a Jew.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the people, the so-called Jewish people we see as of today are not considered converts. Converts are on a convert in Judaism is a Gentile converting over to Judaism. Yeah, Goyim. Yep. So they think that that's why you got Amari Stoudemire. He considered a convert. Shine, the rapper, convert. Kodak Black, convert. But you know, Joey Weinstein is not a convert. Drake, not a convert. His mom, not a convert. But even though Drake is technically, but he wouldn't be considered a convert because his mom is in it. Amari Stoudemire converted over when he went over there to play in the basketball league with his dumb ass. Drake mom is a Jew, a Jewish, so he's considered, he wouldn't be a convert because his mother is in it. Converts are, if your mom is not coming from this, then you're a convert. So they don't consider themselves converts. They think that they come from the actual blood, and they, you know, which is idiotic because they go off of the mother because of, I don't think they believe in immaculate conception, but they don't believe in Christ came yet. So it's like a whole bunch of dumb stuff with that. But this is the yarmulke that they wore in ancient Greek And let's read on.
I still got that list for you too.
Oh, all right, Most High Christ. We're gonna get into that right after this.
All right. For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat. Damn. Now such was the height of Greek fashion, the increase of heathenish manners through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch, and no high priest. 14.
Yeah, so the fashion, it was a fashion statement to wear that hat. It was honored to wear it. It was given to him to wear it. So it meant something. And they knew it. And they knew these young men being seen wearing this hat would mean something for the rest of the Israelites that see him wear it. It would mean something for the rest of the Jews. So read on.
Con, that the priest had no courage to serve any more at the altar, but despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifices, hastened to the partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise, after the game of discus called them forth.
Mm-hmm. All right, so hold on. Let me see. What verse you left off at, 14? Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Ooh, that's perfect. Hold on, let me get this.
I'm back.
Hey, shalom, Lord Christ, what's good? Hold on.
We down?
Down and out. Yeah, I ain't even had no chance.
You may be down, we ain't never out.
Oh, Most High Christ. All right, yeah, let's read on. Let's read verse 15.
Verse 15. Not setting the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. If I put this in,
Yeah, go ahead.
this is just like our oppressor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like basically just like just for clarification, this is explaining how they're turning
Oh, Most High Christ, the water.
they're trying to convert our leaders into sellouts.
Yeah, like they do all the time. Like that's one thing they know. They know that Israel understand that it was always someone in charge to lead us. So how can you get the people to listen? Get the leader to listen. So once the leader listen, the people, and then he go relay the message over to the people, then guess what? The people are going to listen.
Right.
That's all they ever had to do. That's why when we get leaders who didn't listen, they got to kill them. And of course, in ancient time, the leaders nowadays that listen, you know, they end up still dying in their wickedness. So, but that's all that it's saying. So it's saying that in verse 15, not setting by the honor of their fathers, but by the liking and the glory of the Grecians. When you read in the book of Acts, we understand. Let's get to Acts 6 and what is it? 6 and 1. Yep, 6 and 1. Let's get Acts 6 and 1.
Come.
Because this is how the term heathens or Gentiles came into being Israelites, right? This is what the Grecians was known to do. The Grecians was known to, copy after the heathens and push the agenda of the heathens. That's their main focus. The Grecians was making us wear these hats. That's who they was. These soup bowls that you can find in like comedy movies with the little propeller at the top. You know, they used to make us wear them once upon a time. The common man wore these because it was a Greek fashion to wear that. You know, that's why you see, like for an example, some Amalek people. I'm gonna say Amalek because I realize if I keep saying Jewish, they gonna find a way to clip me. Some Amalek, right, walk around with the black Abraham Lincoln hat with the curls behind it. Some of them wear that. That's also a Greek fashion, a Greek state. That was a Greek state fashion.
I can zoom out, sir.
Yeah, zoom out and let's see if it's on this. Because it didn't start off as that box hat at one point. Let me see. Go all the way down. All right, go up. That hat right over there. It's kind of, you see how that is? It's kind of like that. It started out as the big hats that we see them wearing ourselves today, the Abraham Lincoln looking hat. And then it end off like that. Like over time, fashion changed. That's why if you see the yarmulke right here, you look how big it is. But now when you actually see one, it's actually smaller because it's meant to just cover the crown. So they was the main ones pushing this agenda. All this Judaism and the customs and the curls on the side, all that is Greek culture that they then took and added on with the Bible, and then they got us following it. Let's read Acts 6:1.
6:1 or Exodus 6:1?
Acts 6:1.
The book of Acts chapter 6 verse 1. And in those days, when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews.
A murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews. Read on.
There arose the murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews because their widows were neglected in the daily menstruation.
Now, you got a Bible Compact Dictionary on you? Or it might be one in the back. If you got one on you, that'll be too hard. But if not, let's check and see if we got one in the back. All right, because we're going to look up what Grecian mean. With your phone died? One back there and go back there and check. And could you check and see if it's a charger for this phone right here back there? Go ahead, go show them the charger. If it ain't a dictionary, if we ain't got a dictionary, it's cool because I'm gonna just paraphrase the definition. They moved it. I'm gonna start bringing mine. I got a bunch of books. I got Josephus. I got the dictionary. I got the big pictorial. I got Babylon and Timbuktu, 13th tribe. I got all the Bibles. I mean, I got all the books that we got in a big bag that I done read years. I got all of them when I first came into the truth, all them books. So I'm gonna start bringing. I ain't leaving them. Most High in Christ. I ain't leaving them though. I'm gonna bring them. They my ribs. So if she said you can have them, you can have them. They have books. So if she said you can have them, you can have them. I don't want to give away her stuff. You know if it was up to me, you got it. Grecian. Grecians. No questions online? So
the question is yeah.
Okay. Most High in Christ. Let's get it.
All right, Grecia is Greece, the home of the Hellenes.
Mm-hmm.
Greeks and Grecians, however, are to be distinguished. Greeks are generally those of Hellenic race, but the word may be used to indicate non-Jews.
The word may be used to indicate non-Jews. Read.
Oh, God. Foreigners and aliens, Grecians were Greek-speaking Jews, folk of this desperation from areas predominantly Greek.
Now, Grecians were Greek-speaking Jews that come from predominantly dominant areas of the Greeks.
Right.
From where? In the Maccabees, what we're reading, in the book of the Maccabees, in the time where the Greeks took over. So when we're reading about the Grecians in the book of Maccabees, they're actually heathens, but their customs that they didn't forced it on us. By the time we got to the book of Acts, Grecians wasn't no longer heathens. These was Israelites who was acting like them goddamn Grecians. Why? Because where they learned these customs from? Them Grecians. They was wearing the hats. They was their arenas, the way that they had the arena set up as far as like fighting. Like a lot of these sports nowadays comes from, it's just traditions from them. I mean, it's just traditions that the Grecians made us follow and forced us to follow, right? So the scripture just said that the Grecians are known as Greek-speaking Jews. So when Paul say he come for the Greeks and the Jews, there's no difference. He's talking about the people who know they're Jew and the people who are Greeks, or people who are Jews, but they follow the customs of the Greeks. Meaning what? They walking around wearing these silly hats. It's fashion. But guess what? Judaism came and then they adopted that into their religion. Them silly hats in their religion. Right? Let me see. Let me get 1 Corinthians 11:7.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 7. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God, but the woman is the glory of the man.
Like a man is not to cover his head,
Right?
Because he is the glory of God. He's the image of. So why are we walking around with this hat on? When a man should cover his head, he walking around with this goddamn hat on.
Right.
A man can't cover his head. It ain't like they take that off when they praying. If you actually look close, some of them have it hair pinned to their head to keep it on. So you had your hand up in the card?
Yeah, kind of like verse above it explains this stuff like, hey, when you praying, prophesying, you uncover your head. That's the rule. But like, when you look at these Jewish cats, it's crazy because it's like they try to take and it just makes sense with book Revelation that they don't want to accept. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see why they don't want to accept the New Testament, because the New Testament shows that y'all are going to pay. It says those, it says the synagogue of Satan, you know what I mean? And like, just this hat by itself right now, and you break it down. It's crazy.
Yeah, and let's go to that Revelations 2:9, because you just brought out a heavy point, right? Say the synagogues of Satan, man, which is crazy, right?
Right.
The Bible prophesied there's going to be people that say that they are Jews or not. Let's go to it.
Come on. If I could, sir. Like, and it's crazy because like Christ cut all of that off from us having that division. Like, man, you ain't no real Jew. You know what I'm saying? Because we was disqualifying brothers and sisters out of the spirit of the Lord. So like Christ came to say, man, in all that, we ain't doing that no more. We gonna stick together. And now it's like, you know what I'm saying? They wanna try to act like this ain't talking about money.
Right.
Saying, oh, that is a Jew that doesn't behave like a Jew. He's goy.
So give me one. Give me an example. It's hard for a Jew to not act like a Jew. Y'all take everything from them. Like, so give me an example. But read on. Let's read.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and are not.
Let's just think about that, right? They know the blasphemy of them that say that they are Jews and are not. Who are the only people that's running around here saying they're Jews? The same people that'll cancel you if you say you are a Jew. Yo, for the love of me, I do not understand how saying blacks are Jews is anti-Semitic. You want to know why that? You want to know why that blew my mind? Because can a black be a Jewish person? Can a black convert over to Judaism? This is a question that I'm asking, right? They say saying that black people are the real Jews, or saying that black people are Jews, is anti-Semitic. Can a black person be Jewish according to them? And this is a question for anybody. According to the Jewish people, can a black person be a Jew? Can they? You sure? Can a black person be a Jew? Be Jewish? Why not? Why not? Look, pressure on him. He floating. It's like, are black people Jews? So, did anybody online answer?
Not yet.
Can a black person be Jewish? According to them.
Type your answer into the comment section. Comment your answer below.
What's up, cuz? What's up with you? Car, you want to give it a shot? Can black people be Jewish, according to them?
Can black people be Jewish?
Yes, according to them.
Like, can they convert? I know they can.
Yeah,
convert.
meaning making them Jewish. Can they be Jewish?
Yeah, they can become Jewish.
They can become Jewish, right? So a black person can be Jewish.
Right.
So how is it anti-Semitic to say that black people are Jews if they can become a Jew?
Well, it's just like they try to talk down on it, you know, like you're one of them black Hebrew Israelites. Like they use that like in quotation.
But let's just say, if that's the case, if we say that black people are Jews, like, think about this. Kanye actually said, we're the 12 lost tribes of Hebrew. And we are also Jews too. Meaning they're Jews and we're Jews. Kanye was never really saying that black people are the true Jews. He was saying we are also Jews just like y'all are Jews. Why was it now? If we can convert to Judaism and become Jews, why was it such a big problem?
Because they know, just like the internet tried to prove, is that you can only be a Jew by blood, and they know that they are not the real Jews.
Yeah, and also what they do understand is what Kanye was saying was enough to make someone go look it up and finally realize, like, yo, Kanye was saying something, but he fully didn't know what he was talking about. But he was saying something. It was enough to make someone go look it up and actually find out, oh, that's what he meant, right? So if black people can be Jews, it's such a big deal when they say black people are Jews and they go into a frenzy because they're scared of people. Oh, we can be Jews, and go and look it up and find out, hold up, we are actually Jews. So if saying that I am a Jew gets you canceled, that only leaves one people to be the actual Jews, which is the so-called Amalek people. Because if people say that, I'm a Jew and it gets them canceled, so there's only one person running around this earth calling themselves Jews. So who is Revelation 2:9 talking about? It has to be talking about the people who calling themselves Jews as of today. Think about it. Point out in history when black people called themselves Jews. And when I'm saying history, like meaning the Bible, done, finished, closed, everything. Right? Bible was already written and stamped. Who been calling themselves Jews? Who been using the Bible to say that they are Jews? Show me anywhere in history where anybody was using the Bible to show that they were Jews. They was using the Bible to try to prove to us we're Christians, but they was not teaching us we were Jews. They was teaching us we're Christians, we're the Gentiles, and they are the Jews. Hey, salute. So read that scripture again.
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
What works in tribulation and poverty did the so-called Amalekites, who would be known as the Jewish man, go through as of today? They always want to pinpoint 2 or 3 years or 10 years of poverty that somebody then went through. Meanwhile, it's thousands of years and black still is, they trying to pass laws to make sure when we go to banks to get loans, they don't racially profile us. You go in every major city across America, there's a ghetto in it. A straight up ghetto with homeless people somewhere living under a goddamn bridge or it's project buildings. Why is that? Find me, have y'all ever actually ran into a Jewish community? Have y'all ever actually been to a Jewish community? Nicole?
They got one. I haven't really. I drove past it like in New York, but
it's one here in Philly.
Yeah, it's one in Philly. It's up Sigma Avenue, right?
Is the one that I seen was up in the Northeast.
Yeah.
You actually drive through them neighborhoods? They got their own police cars.
Yeah.
Own schools. It's their own. It's like it's a better Chinatown.
Yeah, they got one of they got like a nice little area of Sigma Avenue.
Yeah.
Like around right like outside of Overbrook.
They got their own everything. There is no poverty that they dealing with. How many Jewish people you see standing in the line to vote?
You don't see them voting at all.
Yeah, like they ain't voting. They are the doctors and lawyers. They not voting. Hell are they voting for when they got their own community? He said there's one in Coney Island, Brooklyn, a gated one. Cops at the gate checking you when you get in. Come on. Yeah. There's own gated community in every city that they got. If someone didn't notify them that you belong here, you're not getting in. How many police? Listen, if we, let me just ask a question. If we see a cop car sitting at the top of a block in the hood, what do we think?
They watching us.
Yeah, this is a high crime area. Meanwhile, the cops are sitting at their area and we just looking at it like they're there to protect them. And really, they in our neighborhoods to protect the outsiders from us. That's all. They ain't trying to stop nobody to come through here and shoot our blocks up. They not stopping us from shooting our own blocks up. They're stopping us from leaving and going and robbing them. That's all. They want to catch one of us leaving this block going to do something to them. Let's read on.
Time check 8:47. I'm still holding the notes for you, sir.
We're going to get into that right after this.
I know thou works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
You know the blasphemy. It's blasphemy, right? To say that they are Jews. The Most High said it's two things in the Bible that's blasphemy. One of them is to come against the Lord, and another one is to say that you are a Jew and you are not a Jew. That's blasphemy in the Lord's eyes. Blasphemy meaning what? You ain't gonna be forgiven for that. Come on, man. You saying you a Jew and you not a goddamn Jew? He know that his people out here saying that they are his chosen people. The same people he say that he hate in the book of Romans are saying that they're his chosen people? That's blasphemy, man. Come on. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful to run around here and the same people that you hate is saying that, yeah, he love us actually. Come on, that's blasphemy. Read on.
Yeah, come. All right. That say they are Jews and are not, but of the synagogue of Satan.
Not only that they're not Jews, they come from the synagogue of Satan. To even set up a whole religion to say that you are something you're not, you doing that because you come from the synagogue of goddamn Satan, man. Go ahead.
It's all good, sir. What's crazy, Satan been able to have a whole lot of places to hide for a very long time. Of course, growing up, we all got the stories of the Christian church. In most black communities, we have Islam, right? Over here in the East Coast, we got the Islam, we got all these religions and politics. Satan was able to hide in all of them. But because of the Lord is with the Isupk, we've been exposed. And now the Christian church is losing followers. They're losing money. They can't have churches on every block. The Islam is losing followers. All these spiritualities that Satan was able to hide in, government. Now black people like, man, I ain't going. They ain't doing nothing for me. Now, the one place that Satan calls his home is that Jewish synagogue. You know what I'm saying? That the spirit is being lifted up. You know what I'm saying? It's being exposed to the world.
Right. No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Is any questions online?
No questions at all.
All right, let's get into this list for this last 10 minutes then.
All right. So what I have here, you want the slave ships or the mass media?
Whichever one is good for first.
All right. This is the picture. All right. You can find this information on Wikipedia. All right. You can look it up. Jewish owners of mass media. All right. So Jewish people own Sony, and these are the bigger media platforms: Sony, Paramount, Fox, Comcast, Warner Brothers, Discovery, Walt Disney. Okay, so that falls under Columbia Pictures. your Paramount, TMZ, Showtime, your record label, Columbia, Nickelodeon, Fox TV, CW, Vice, HBO, CNN, Marvel, ESPN, DreamWorks, Fox Sports. So that makes sense. Fox Sports. CBS. Okay. They got some overseas. They had some overseas companies as well. And these are the people. Also, Viacom. Viacom is owned by a company, National something.
That's the ones who did all that to Nick Cannon.
Yeah, so Viacom is the ones that did what they did to Nick Cannon. But Viacom owns BET. They owned all of those like VH1 and the MTVs and all of that. All your modern urban selection, right? They're the ones that pushes the gay agenda, the drugs, the violence in our community. So who runs Viacom? A Jewish woman, right? A Jewish woman runs the company that runs Viacom. And when you look at her husband, she don't got the husband that you know, a white woman, a regular white woman, you'll see with the, looking like a millionaire, billionaire type guy. No, you know what he look like? He's straight out of the synagogue of Satan. Like when I see the picture, this guy don't got no drip. He got the yarmulke. He look all frail with the nasty beard. You know what I'm saying? Just looking like an oppressor. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. I said, good night. Because I had to do my research. And I was like, well, who is this woman that owns Viacom? And I had to dig deep into her history. And then I was like, well, who was her husband? Straight up Jewish man. You know, that Jewish man is running the scenes. Hey, this is what you know what I'm saying?
This is what you're going to do next.
This is what you're going to do.
Yeah, so it makes sense that they running all that, which is why it's so easy to cancel anyone.
Right.
Because they running every goddamn thing.
Right.
So let's read on.
Also, sir, Facebook, Instagram, owned by Jewish people. So, we be on these platforms, try to speak our truth. Look at TikTok. TikTok don't let you say anything, but you can see all types of whoredom on there, but you can't say you're black. They still want to,
But TikTok, I think TikTok is ran by China.
Yeah, but they still in business with it.
Oh yeah. That's why, they control the algorithm. That's why it's so easy to go viral on TikTok, because they don't give a damn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they will take some stuff down, because every time I put my video up, it's different. And if I don't blink out them guns, they take that down.
Right. So I have George control over American slavery.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. So this is actual documentation. All right. The names of the slave ships, owners of the slave ships, and the individual's ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Boom, boom. So you got Abigail, Crown, Nassau, 4 sisters, Anna, Lisa. Now this is the names of the ship that I'm giving. 4 sisters: Annie, Eliza, Prudent, Betty, Hester, Elizabeth, Anigua, Bessie, Polly, White Horse, Expedition, Charlotte, Cargo. All right. Owners of these slave ships was Aaron Lopez, Moses Levy, Jacob Franks, Isaac Levy, Nathan Simpson, Moses Levy.
They had all biblical names.
Boom. Now they got Abram, Layel, Nathan, Marson, Dave Wolf, James, Dave Wolf. So they go the family. Jan D. Switz, John and Jacob Roosevelt, Moses and Son Levy, and Jacob Franks, Moses and Sam Levy. All of these people that I named, sir, were Jews. And these cargo slave ships held up thousands of our people.
You got the website for the names of the slaves that was on them cargo slave ships? You do?
Yeah,
All right, no, we gonna save it for next week because I got the website.
Yeah, slavehoy.gov.
I believe that's the one because when you type in like Bun and Yah and all type of Hebrew names, they be popping up.
Yeah,
and the ages, the age they was and all, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But yeah. Any questions online? Whatever I ain't get to this week, I'm gonna get into next week. I'm gonna definitely go into more of the. I'm gonna tie in the history of the Judaism with the law, because that's all like the apocrypha work too. That's why they definitely had to get rid of that.
And we can once I can find out the Talmud, the dark side of that Talmud about they do the little kids and the woman, because the woman they started so they started. I'm gonna find information.
The Tammuz, you talking about? They talk about that in Babylon and Timbuktu too.
Yeah, they started the bloodline coming from the woman. I believe after they started it later.
Yeah, and they got to do that because if it don't come from the woman, then it defeats it defeat their whole purpose and they stance on what they stand on. If it don't come from the woman, that's why it has to come from the woman. That's why they push immaculate conception, because if people are dumb enough to believe a woman can have a baby with no man, then guess what? They also will understand that you can be a Jew through your mother. Right. If anyone believe in immaculate conception and disagree with being a Jew through your mother, it's like, yo, they hypocrites. What the hell are they talking about? That's how they look at it. But they own everything. The proof is out there, and what is happening is, brothers are finally saying something, and it's obvious they are demasculating the brothers in front of the world. They are making an example out of Kyrie. I wouldn't even say Kanye. They're making an example out of Kyrie. The fact that Kyrie put that apology up allows them, even if it wasn't from him, it could have been from him, it could have been from his team. It allows them to start the process of breaking him. So now they got to give him 6 things to do in order to play in the NBA again. You know what it'll say to the black people who he said are the real Jews? If Kyrie play another NBA game, you know what that'll say to the black people? He sold out. You know what would say something if Kyrie don't ever play another NBA game? He stand on that flat earth. He believe in that. He believe in that flat earth. He believe in all that. Stand on the blacks Hebrews. So if he never play an NBA game, that would show something about him. It would definitely do. But you can't let your team do all these apologies and then okay, it wasn't you that apologized, but then you end back up in the NBA. So there is certain things that he can do that are set it aside. Like, okay, Kyrie is on to something. And they're trying to make sure he don't do that. Because like I said, one thing they know is black people will listen to someone with money. That's all. If someone got money, they can get black people to do whatever the hell they want. And that's what they're trying to avoid. A rapper and a basketball player, 2 of the top things that black people are trying to be in a community. We can't have these 2 people with such a big influence tell them who they are. If they would have got on there and said, we come from Africa and we are Egyptians and we We're kings and queens. That would have been totally fine. Kyrie done said in multiple interviews that he was a Muslim. That was totally fine. But they can't have you saying that you a goddamn Israelite or you come from the Bible, because it's going to make you pick up a book, which they don't want you to do. Is any questions online?
If I could, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm looking at it. So basically, I believe that the converts started around the time of the Romans Empire, and they, I believe the Romans.
We're gonna say that for next week. Let's say that for next week. We ran out of time. Yeah, we're gonna say that for next week. So, any questions online? Ain't no questions online, right? All right. So with that, pass the class off to precinct officer in the car.